All right, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Marcus here earlier this morning. Doesn't it make sense to think that once one has been proven to be fake, unreliable, so on and so forth, that it's supposed to mean something, not real? So it's untrustworthy. How are you supposed to make it with that? How are you supposed to give that some type of respect? You think about it, my friends. I'm talking seriously about things that matter to us. Over the past years, or just the past few years, we have been exposed to deception at its furthest level. So let's go back to something we can put our hands on. Donald Trump trying to take over the country, going to take over the presidency, asking states to just give him votes. And I mean, all of these things that is just all out of line. And it was done. The evidence was made available to the people of this nation. You know he's crooked. He tried crooked stuff to work against you, who are paying him to protect us from people like him. And we're getting and paying for the opposite. Now, when you run into that kind of stuff, how can you trust that? But then if you don't have some way out, you find yourself using that as a litmus test on how you should respond to other things. And depending upon what your motivation is, depending upon what your concerns basically are, and you got a lie for sure, and something that might be a lie you're not sure of. And so you're just dealing with what's phony. You don't have any sense of how to really guide yourself. And so either way you go, you end up being a misfit. Either way you go, you end up being a supporter. Yes, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, you are a supporter of fakeness. And you say, well, I didn't know. Well, you don't have the mindset. If it's causing pain, would you like it? Wherever you were on that totem pole, causing suffering, would you like it? The things that are essential and you're being denied, would you like it? So of course, that's how you gauge, or it is a way to engage how you should respond. We have to look at stuff, ladies and gentlemen, seriously. This earth doesn't belong to us. This earth belongs to someone, something, something else. We call it God, because that's information that we've been given that's to guide us down a path that we know nothing of. But we can reference it as being that which is superior to all of us. This earth exists, and all of the things on it exist, which includes us. And everything needs something to survive. Even the plants need something to survive. Trees need something to survive. Water needs something to survive. Everything needs something to survive. And we as human beings on this earth need something to survive. And this earth has a whole abundance of those requisites that are available to us, so that we can meet all of those same standards that every living thing deserves. But I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. When we think about human beings, considering what I've just said, every human being on this earth, we know you come here as a child, and those who are used as a vessel to bring you here, they are initially the ones that's responsible for you, but they are not the only ones. The human race is responsible for you at large. And so when you come here, that your time is spent there. But every human being that meets the requirements, whatever they might be, and you will know what they are, is to work as their duty, as their ticket, as their support and right to live on this earth. Work. But work usually refers to something that you don't like doing. So we say, engage yourself in a career. Careers seem to have a nicer taste to it. But not only that, this particular way of doing things allows you to choose that which gives you your greatest joy. So everything that you do in your career is doing nothing but creating joy for you. Individual joy for everybody on this earth that's working. Everyone on this earth that has a career are having a career and daily engagement of joy. Can you imagine? And that power that I've been telling you about, that controls everything, have these careers interconnected in such a way that you are absolutely creating heaven on earth. Now, in order to see this happen, it's worth making sure that it's mandatory. I've heard people talking about mandatory that you register to go kill somebody or be killed. Mandatory that you have a career. Mandatory. That means that all of the forces, just like you, understand that you must have a career, and they're not in opposition, because who and what the world is, who and what all of us are, is dependent upon all of us and our participation, engagement in the process. So the whole world is working to make sure and engaging ourselves to assure that every last one of us human beings that come on this earth at the appropriate time got a career. Now, that assures itself because if it is not proper, there will be pain somewhere. There will be suffering somewhere. There will be some homelessness. There will be some lack of education. There will be some people suffering from lack of health care. These are the results when you're playing fake. That's what happens when you're fake. And since we already know what fakeness is, we know that fakeness is what I just said right here. This pain and suffering. Some got, some don't. Terror, war. We know this is the result of fakeness. And what I'm sharing with you is how to expose that fakeness by revealing the truth. Get you to see, at least have, to hear of it, give you a chance to think about it, and hopefully choose the truth. And rather than fight with the lie, you build the truth. And that is, my friends, that no one is suffering for anything that they require. Doesn't mean that everybody got to have everything. No. But it means that we, the people, have put stuff together in such a way that you can take from it what you want. You go in your pocket, in your drawer today, you might want a nickel, you might want a dime, you might want a quarter, you might want a 10 or a 50. These are things, but your drawer got what you might want. So the reservoir of goods and services got, because of how we engage ourselves in our careers and the way the power that be has it set up, that reservoir of goods have anything that any human being might want. And if they might want and then want, they got the right to get, provided it does not cause in their usage no pain or suffering to anyone. You see what I'm saying? That ain't fake. That's real. That ain't fake. That's real. See, Donald Trump couldn't stand up against this. But nobody would dare to tell you, the American people, that you can have this. I don't care what the systems of the world say. The systems of the world are designed against this. But you, the people, are the one that's being benefited. You, the people, are the one that the power that exists that we can't see made it possible for all of these things to exist. For you, not for you to be controlled by some nut, but to be controlled by that power that allows you to express yourself, to be who you are, and not be what somebody else is proning you to be. No, my friends, of a life, you still got people out here today thinking they're better than others. You still got people out here today using money talking about what they're going to do and what kind of power they're going to do and how they're going to use the markets to do what they want to do and how they're going to use guns and bullets to force people to do what they want them to do. And they're mad, no smiles on their face because they're tired of this, because they got the power and they must be the mightiest thing and they're not going to take the stuff. They got the privilege, they got the color, they got everything, and you ain't nothing. And here we come because we got the courts, we got everything. Ain't that something? And you're supposed to just sit back. Well, no, you're going to prove, if you will, that you got a God. And you are going to allow that God to be alive through you so that all might see this magnificent power that's not afraid. One more thing before I go, ladies and gentlemen. We must change our mindset in relationship to death. We are all afraid of death because we've been taught to be afraid of death. But truly, death is our friend. Just as we are born and we exist, we are going to experience death and we won't exist here. But as essential as it is that we are born, it is that same essentialness that we die. And so I would say to each of us who have gone to a party, and we know what a party can mean and how exciting it can be and the joy that it can bring. When we think about these kinds of things, when we think about traveling to other places, a lot of people have never left their zip code. But to live in a state and all of a sudden you go to this state, maybe far away to visit someone, a relative, or just to go sightseeing, and you experience this, get a chance to eat different foods and smile and laugh and talk with different people, see movies perhaps, plays perhaps. I mean, it's so magnificent. And you get a chance to be exposed. That's because there's variety. This, my friends, this is what life can be like. But when you put all of this stuff together, I mean, you really put it together. It's coming to me now. When you really put it together and you're able to eliminate this idea that somebody is more special, more deserving, is better. And everybody feels that they individually are the benefit of such treatment. That they are the benefit. They receive treatment from the rest of the human race as if they are the best that exist. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I want so much for us to not be fake. Today, as I constantly tell you, we are all fake. And the only reason that I wanted to take that moment and share with you about death, because it indicates that you have accepted the truth. And just as exciting as it would be for a cotton chopper who never left Mississippi to visit Chicago or LA, it would be just as exciting to think about where and what you're going to experience when you cross over through the door of death. People leave this country and other countries and go to another country for reasons that they have chosen, that means something to them. And they are different reasons. Various reasons people travel from one country to another. To live there, place they never live, never know really what's going on. But they're making this choice. Making a choice to go to another place where you probably won't even get a chance to come back and visit any of the folks that you knew before. You won't get a chance to see your high school friends, or to see your college friends, or to see your military buddies anymore. You won't get a chance to be able to associate with even your family members that will never travel to you, or you be able to see because you travel back. All of that is over. And it doesn't cause you pain and suffering. In fact, you're looking forward to it. So why not look forward to death? You will look forward to death once you walk into the truth. Because the truth will prove so much life that you will know that death is nothing but a continuation of life. And once you know that death is a continuation of life, well, it'll happen a long time before you get to this point. There will be no fear. And we can really live. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. Yes, I wanted all Americans to start. I believe that was the best. And eventually all people on earth to live joyously. I'm just telling you what I wanted. I wanted them to live without fear of anything. Everything that they needed, wanted, or desired, I wanted them to experience it. I wanted them to be in control of their own lives, to be free. I wanted them, each of you ladies and gentlemen, to live your own dreams. To the degree that men and women were lovers, much more than they are now. There weren't anything called divorce. People cared. Oh, I saw so much wonderful stuff, and I still do. But I know it won't just happen. And it won't happen because I'm just telling you about it. You see, the world has always been kind of crooked. America has been crooked. But we had thought that we had risen above where we are now until Donald Trump came along. And he started lifting up that stuff. And then people started realizing that, hey, it can be. And people have decided that they want to join it. Now, that's even in this country, you would think that there are many people who are not with Donald Trump, basically. But the truth is, they might not be with Donald Trump, basically. But that doesn't mean anything. They're still down a corrupt path. As long as the pain and suffering, I say to you, every human being in America, here in this country, but ultimately every human being on this earth is responsible for all the killing that's going on. And people calling themselves God's chosen people doesn't mean anything. You can call yourself God's chosen people. Who gonna argue? Something, and you can call yourself God's chosen people. Who gonna argue? Because if somebody argue, all you got to do is a little money down the road. You can have somebody write something down and insert it into the book to make it legal by that particular document. So here again, this is how fakeness operates. Yet, using the truth, following the guidelines of truth, you won't be exposed to become a victim. So ladies and gentlemen, death, remember, I know you're not ready right now, but I just wanted you to hear today, the death is your friend. Death is your friend, but you were taught to fear death because the moment you didn't have any fear of death, the enemy, your enemy of life, wouldn't have any control over you. No way could your enemy of life, no way could there be slave masters. No way. No way could there be slaves. Nah. It's the truth that sets you free. I want to thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. I did talk quite long, but I hope it was inspiring to some of you. I had no problem saying it. I'm glad I did say it, but more than that, I'm glad I know it, and I'm glad I practice it to the degree that I'm not ashamed. Doesn't mean I'm perfect. Hell, no, I'm not perfect. Doesn't mean I even do my own righteousness as I understand it to be every day. I might set out to do it, but for some strange reason, habits kind of gets in my way, as it does yours. But the only wonderful thing about that is you know it, and you know what to do. So let us do what we got to do. Until next time, Eddie Marcus say goodbye for now.